Hey everyone, today let's talk about the tough topic of concussions. My name is Dr. Ryan and I'm with Valeo Health and Wellness, and it's tough to talk about concussions because number one, not many people realize what the symptoms are or what a concussion really is. Number two, if they do have a concussion, they don't realize they may actually have one. So let's jump into it. First, concussions are caused by head injuries and head traumas. That's what they come from. Pretty straightforward and simple. The tricky part is the symptoms. The classic symptoms are headaches, nausea, sensitivity to light or sounds, or irritability, or really tired and fatigued. And a lot of times what people do is they kind of stop here. But they don't go into if they have one, how can they get better? What are the other things that actually come with head traumas? And so that is why I really do want to break down what a concussion is. How does the brain react? How does your body react? So we can make you better and well and get over the concussion. But before that, not a lot of people know this about myself, but I'm actually a 4th degree black belt. I've been in martial arts ever since I've been 8 years old, and I've actually sustained a couple of concussions myself, and so that's why it's a topic for me that's actually really personal for me, and I do want to share this to you guys too. And actually, I did get one of my concussions on videotape, so I'm going to show you that video real quick. And I do want to break it down. The video you're about to see, it does show me getting a concussion, so fair warning for you. But it is actually at a competition. And you'll see I'm on the left, the competitor I'm sparring is on the right. And in a typical sparring match for sport karate, it's for points, not for knockout. It is for points. And so whenever you kick or whenever you score a hit, you get points for it. And so the judge will stop the fight, award the fighter a point, and then allows the fight to resume again. And there are a few techniques that are illegal to throw just based on how wild they are, how uncontrolled they are, and actually the opponent I was sparring threw one of these illegal techniques. So I'm going to step to the side. Let's take a look at this video here of me getting a concussion. So, and here I am on the left right here, and the competitor spins and hits, and that was it. It was a blink of an eye. It was super quick, and in the moment what I was feeling, I had a flash of white light, I had an instant headache, and there was a little bit of like confusion of like, what just happened? Fortunately, at the time I believe I was 19 or 20, and I did not know I had a concussion. So I did not step out of the fight. I kept fighting. Actually, I won the fight. I got the most points in that match. But it is very, very classical that people who do get concussions don't realize it, and they just keep pushing through. They keep going. So we even seen that with high school athletes. They all of a sudden get a concussion and they keep playing. Or adults, what they do is they get a concussion and they keep working. They don't address the concussion. They think all we need to do is just sit there and rest and everything will be better. Unfortunately not. So let's keep going. Let's talk about concussions further. So who can get them? Unfortunately, everyone can get them. I've seen kids get them, a fall down the stairs, or even like a parent, all of a sudden the baby just slips and gets a head injury, and there can be some concussion with that. Teenagers, we traditionally see concussions with sports, with hockey, with soccer, with football, but we've also seen concussions with adults too, such as car accidents, a slip and fall, Even like workers' comp, if all of a sudden something falls on them and hits them in the head, and unfortunately, everyone can get a concussion. And the tricky part is each person along their age will exhibit and show different symptoms. So now, what is actually happening to the brain? What is actually happening when you get a concussion? And just like what this picture is showing, as your head moves forward, the brain is moving forward too. And when that skull, when your head stops moving, the brain can actually move forward a little bit more. And so it's that moving and then stop and then hits. So it's the quick acceleration and quick deceleration. Quick movement, quick stop. And actually what's happening is the brain inside is getting compressed, getting stretched, and there's some shearing motions that can happen within the brain that actually is causing the damage, causing the hurt and the injury to happen. And the tough part is this can happen in any axis. So a lot of people think forward and backwards. Unfortunately, it can go side to side. It can go at angles. For me, in my example, it was rotation. Or even compression, straight down, something falling or something hitting you on the head. So it can happen in any direction, any movement, as long as there's a quick acceleration, quick movement, and a quick stop. If there was a quick movement, yeah, the brain can move and can butt up against like the back of a head. But a lot of times what people don't realize is sometimes with the quick movement and quick stop, the brain is pushed against with the movement forward, but then with the quick stop, it's moving forward and can get injured again. So a lot of times what's happening is the brain can get injured in multiple spots with just a forward and backward motion. So we see that with car accidents. Car accident, then the airbag will go off and whip them backwards. So it's tough to diagnose multiple case stuff like that. So that's why we want to be very, very attentive of what was the injury, how it was injured, what the symptoms are. So we want all of that information to take in to figure out what part of the brain is injured. And I'm going to let you know, here's the next slide here. The brain, depending on what part of the brain is injured, is going to exhibit different symptoms. So a lot of people think, man, concussion, sometimes vision and hearing is going to be affected. So bright lights, loud noises is going to upset them. Or even with paying attention, focus, concentration. But movement can also be disrupted. Movement coordination, balance, or even, how about this one, memory, emotions. And here's an even scarier one, heart rate, breathing, digestive. The brain is controlling every single aspect of your body. So if there is a part of the brain that is injured, that part of the body is also going to show symptoms of it. So our goal, our plan is to figure out what part of the brain and then to go in and make sure you are healing from it as well. So let's jump into a quick example. So we had a gentleman come into the office. He was about mid-40s. He had an active lifestyle and he didn't have any head symptoms. He didn't have any headaches, dizziness, nausea, balance was fine. And what he came in for was stomach pain. Anything he ate, could be plain chips, could be like the brat diet, like bananas, any fruit that he had, it developed stomach pain. And when Dr. Aaron was going through the exam with him, he was first trying to figure out, okay, what is causing the pain? How can we help him? And things just weren't lining up right for Dr. Aaron. And so he took a step backwards in his thought process and widened his exam. And he did a neurological exam, which is a little bit different for an exam for stomach. And what we found was the vagus nerve was injured. The vagus nerve was hurt. And the vagus nerve, for those who don't know what the vagus nerve does, it actually is a cranial nerve, so it's coming straight from the brain, and it's going down, and it is in charge of working the stomach, and actually in charge of the majority of the small intestines and large intestines. So that was hurt, and that was a huge key into what was going on with his stomach pain. And we dove into, okay, why in the world is that nerve hurt? And we found out that he actually had a concussion about 3 months before he started having stomach pain. So he had a concussion, the vagus nerve was hurt because of the concussion, and he was having stomach pain because the vagus nerve was hurt. Do you see the progression and the thought process that we need to go through concerning concussions? It is important that we do that. So here are some goals that we have for people who do have concussions. Number one, we do want to reduce the symptoms of the patient. A lot of people are agitated and they have headaches and they can't go to work, and so we want to be able to reduce those symptoms. But the hard part is a lot of people stop there. They don't have the headaches and they return to work, or they get back to school and they don't continue pursuing their health. But what we need to do is we need to reduce the symptoms, yes, but we also want to heal the area of the brain that is injured. That is important to maintain the future health. Just like that gentleman in before, he had a concussion, he reduced his symptoms, but the stomach pain, and he didn't realize that stomach pain would show up. So we want to heal the area so more symptoms further down the road don't show up. Next, from concussions, people are at risk to have another concussion further in the future. So what we want to do is help you get to a point where those future concussions do not happen. So that is our goals. That is what we want to see with our patients that do have those concussions. So hopefully this is helpful. Stay tuned. I have another video coming out real soon next, and it is going to be talking through the process. Okay, what are the steps of recovering from a concussion? So stay tuned. Do hit the subscribe button. Join our Facebook group. We'd love to see you. We have more content coming out in the future. So God bless. This is Dr. Ryan from Valeo Health and Wellness.